Gubernatorial candidate Victor Marx. Victor, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you coming on. Colorado is a really interesting state. It's one of the most beautiful places on earth. A lot of ranchers out there, a lot of Second Amendment supporters. There's a lot of things that the right really connects to in Colorado, but it has been moving left so hard for so long, it almost feels like Virginia, like it's unwinnable. But here you are. You're raising money. I think you topped the charge, topped the count for the first quarter of this year. Tell us about it.
Well, we're winning. I'm telling you, from the beginning, we've done what people said couldn't be done. You know, people are like, well, it's been over 20 years since there's been a Republican governor, and there's no way y'all can win it back. And I just said, why not? We did our assessment on it, our teams, and we came to figure out the pain point is so high here in Colorado because of it's unaffordable. Mm-hmm. My gosh, it's not safe. And you mentioned Second Amendment. They're trying to stop good citizens from being able to protect themselves. Yeah. And the pain point, again, is so high, people want change.
You know, Victor, I want to believe, okay? My in-laws live out in Colorado, and this was a red state for a long time. And then people can go read a book called The Blueprint, and the Democrats and their billionaire backers had an explicit plan to turn the state blue, and they've done that. I look at the 2016 election, for example, at the presidential level. President Trump lost that to Hillary Clinton by 5 points. 8 years later, 2024, the margin for Kamala Harris was 11 points. So the state is sliding in the wrong direction, but you're sounding positive. What are the metrics that suggest to you that this is winnable statewide?
Well, the biggest one would have to be money, right? And this first quarter of this year, we beat not only the fellow Republicans running, which they're inconsequential, quite honestly, but we beat the Democrats. We beat Bennett and Weiser. We out-fundraised them, and the average gift was $88. So to date, we've raised $2.2 million. We raised $1.6 million of that in this quarter. The people are speaking, not only Republicans, but the unaffiliates. And I'll tell you a little secret, even Democrats. We had Democrats hold me a fundraiser because the pain is so high. And look, the only choice is you get a politician or you get a guy who's an outsider, not a politician, former Marine who knows how and likes to fight for what's right.
Victor, I like that. I'm from South Dakota. So us South Dakotans, we don't understand what the heck is going on with Minnesota and Colorado. It perplexes us. It certainly does. It couldn't be more different. Colorado, like Joey said, a lot of good ranchers there, a lot of good folks there. But I think the weed brought in maybe some not so great folks. We'll talk about that later. But I want to ask you about the Second Amendment in Colorado. So the DOJ is suing Denver and the state over its magazine ban that encompasses some of the most popular firearms. But Denver's little pipsqueak mayor insists on keeping that ban.
No, we will not roll back a common sense policy that has kept weapons industry.
Colorado, who do love the Second Amendment, and they hope it stays.
Well, I'll tell you, politicians have become boneheads over here, and they've forgotten about common sense. Remember, this is where Doc Holliday changed his address to heaven. These are good people who are gritty but full of grace. And being able to carry a weapon or have one in your home for defense, it's our constitutional right. Shall not be infringed, and they're infringing. So that's why I'm so popular in the polls. Tomorrow, we're releasing a poll that's going to shock the nation of what's going on here. And I'll tell you, it's not a pipe dream anymore. It's happening. We're going to flip this state, go back to common sense, make it affordable. Safety is an issue. Let law enforcement do their job. And we're going to fight for our water rights right here in the state where the headwater begins.
Victor, I love a nice tease for a poll coming out. That's always fun, so we'll be looking forward to that. I want to ask you, on the Democratic side, the Colorado Attorney General, Phil Weiser, who has his own political ambitions, by the way, he has vowed to vigorously defend these laws when it comes to the Second Amendment. So there's a very entrenched effort to fight back against the DOJ lawsuit. What do you make of that, both the politics of that and how it'll pan out?
Well, he's going to fail again. What he's running on is that he has sued President Trump 65 times. He just didn't tell people how much he's lost. And he's spending taxpayer money. I'll tell you, one of the first things I'm going to do as governor, I have the veto power. I have execution rights where I can write executive orders, listen to me. And I'm telling you, my goal is to codify in our state constitution our Second Amendment rights where it will never be messed with again. And I'm announcing that right here on Fox for y'all.
All right, listen, Second Amendment is really important to me. Colorado is a beautiful state. It's a state that I would love to visit more often. My neighbors next to my house came to Georgia, and they came to Georgia because they wanted to get away from taxes and they wanted to get away from what the schools had turned into there in Colorado. Would your last answer quickly, what is the one issue? You say they feel the pain. What pain exactly are you talking about?
It's the spending by the government and putting taxes and fees and regulations on the people here. That's why that is the landmine right now. And I'll tell you, when I'm governor, they know I'm going to do a full diligent audit of every agency, free spending, because we've got to stop this bloated government where those folks under that golden dome, they're not care about Coloradans, but we do, and we're going to make a change. We're going to take it back.
All right, Victor Marx, thank you so much. Good luck to you. Thanks for joining us.